If you've ever wondered what kind of gear we use to produce the podcast and these videos, this one's for you. Over the past year, I have overhauled and then very carefully fine-tuned the setup in my studio to be a studio I love. High quality, reliable, still manageable for a very lean team. But the best thing is I can operate it all easily solo without a crew. 99% of the time, it's just me alone. And if that's you, I think this guide is going to help you get professional quality results at whatever budget level you're at. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to upgrade your current setup, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I use in my studio for my podcast, for my YouTube channel, my Instagram, from microphones to software to cameras, and exactly why we chose it. It's not about having the flashiest equipment. You can easily spend more. It's about getting the best results with the right tools, with a really simple setup so that you can focus on what matters most, which is what? Delivering great content and leading well. So let's jump in. So what gear do we have? I want to start with video. And the first thing is a camera, not the latest camera, still available, had it about 3 or 4 years. It's a Sony Alpha A6400 DSLR. And we've got a special lens on it. So when we upgraded the studio, we switched the lens to a Sony 20mm f1G full frame ultra wide prime lens. I don't even know what that means. Okay. But what it does mean is that what gives you the nice effect, right? I'm in focus. It's got an autofocus, but the background is blurred out. And it's a wide enough aperture that you can see it because it's a pretty dark studio. I used to have a white studio. We painted it a dark green and we got it dimly lit. And so it does a really good job of capturing that. And that gives the depth of field effect. Now, what am I looking at right now? What I'm looking at, I get so many questions about this, is the Elgato Teleprompter. Okay, so I'm actually looking at a teleprompter and I'm reading because I can't memorize Sony 20mm f1.8G full frame ultra wide prime G lens. I don't know. Sometimes you actually want to talk and sometimes you need a teleprompter. Now, the cool thing about the Elgato Teleprompter is it's got voice sync. So I'm going to tell you the computer I'm using. I have an iMac, but what's happening is as I'm reading the words, it's advancing the text. Now, if you don't have an M4 computer or, the silicon-based chips out of Apple, you can actually operate it manually, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. But if you've got a silicon chip from Apple, latest generation, voice sync is amazing. It'll change your life. It's not an expensive teleprompter. My only critique is it's a little bit small. I wish they made a 13-inch, bigger than a 13-inch version. I think this is 11 or 13-inch. But the cool thing is you can use it not only for teleprompter, but you can drag your window that you're using. So if I'm doing a podcast interview, I just drag the window right over and I drop it there. So then when I'm talking to the guest, freeform, I'm looking right at the guest, not down at my computer. So anytime I'm doing a webinar, the slides are up there, the screen is up there for a Zoom call. Riverside, which is what we use for podcasting, it's there. So I'm always looking directly into the lens of the camera, whether I'm reading text, whether I'm ad-libbing, or whether I'm doing an interview. And that is something that you just put over top of the lens of whatever camera, DSLR you happen to be using. So that's a game changer, made it a lot better than just having a webcam or, one that you attach to it. We've tried everything over the years. So highly recommend that. Just wish it was a bit bigger. Now, how do you make it all come together? About this little stream deck, you can get way more, you can get big decks, full decks. I just got a simple version. And what you can do, you can easily toggle between apps and shortcuts for the prompter. So let's say you don't have the latest computer. It's not in your budget. You haven't got an Apple Silicon chip and you can't do the voice sync thing. All you do is you set this up so that you can stop and start the prompt. I only got this new iMac recently and I would have it just sitting right here on the desk. And when I'm scrolling through, I just stop it till I've read that text and then I press it. You can do it so discreetly, nobody knows it. So that's basically the video setup that I've got. Obviously, I use an iPhone. We'll go into some portable gear in a little bit later in this video. What about audio? As you know, audio is as important as video. So the mic, which you can barely see in this video, because for YouTube, we try to hide it, is a Shure SM7B, sort of industry standard. I've got one on a boom arm. We'll show you the boom arm I use. I've also got some desk-mounted ones. I've got some in the back that I can use if I'm pulling out guests in the studio. And it's the industry standard. The other thing for microphone that I want to show you, which is really cool. Okay, hang on just a minute. I'm going to grab my kit. This is my travel kit. When I'm on the road, this bag goes with me everywhere. It is not in the links because it's no longer available. It's a To-Me, if you're wondering, and it never breaks, and it'll last till I'm 97 years old. But this is my road kit, and this is Audio-Technica ATR 2100 USB. I've had this mic literally for probably 8 or 9 years. It has not broken. It's got dents in it because it's in my bag. It is super cheap. You plug in one end here, and then you can get it with a USB-A or USB-C because I have like a MacBook Pro on the road. Plug it directly into your laptop like this. So you got your laptop. Here's my MacBook. You just plug it in. Boom. I use a really piece of expensive software called GarageBand. It's free. Absolutely free. Comes with every Mac. And this mic sounds almost as good as this mic. And this mic is under $100. This one's $400. One of my favorite things is when I listen back to the podcast, if I'm on the road, to see if I can tell the difference between this mic and that mic. 9 times out of 10, I can't tell the difference. And it's super easy to use. So if you're on a budget, start with this. Start with this. We'll link to it. It's really hard to tell the difference. So that's the road kit if you want the road kit, or you can use that as your desktop. Now, we got some other gear I'm going to move through really quickly that just makes it sound good. You need some kind of mixer. So I use a Focusrite 212 4th gen USB. So it works really well with my iMac M4. It's the latest. I've had 3 different versions over the years. We also have in the back, and I'll show you that, a Cloudlifter. So what that does, it's not powered, but it just brings the volume up. So that way your producer gets better levels. You may not need it. I've got a Heil PL 2T fully articulating boom mic, so it can move sideways, forwards, up, down. If I'm podcasting, it's up here. If I'm YouTubing, it's down here. It's almost out of the shot. Really good to have. You can also use an onstage mic stand. I used that for a little while. Now, depending on your studio and your ambient sound, you may want to use headphones when you're recording a podcast interview. Otherwise, you get like bleed through. I've used them, not used them, but when I use them, I've got this pair of Audio-Technica. We'll link to them. They're good. Sound quality is excellent. I like to have one ear a little bit open. The only thing, I find them a little bit tight so you can experiment, but they're excellent studio quality headphones. And sometimes I use my AirPods. They're just AirPods. And then on my desk, just because I love music, I've got a couple of Sonos Era 100 studio speakers. Those are great. They're not super fancy, but if you want to really test the audio of something, you want to just listen to great music, they're excellent. And they integrate with the whole system. So lighting. We've talked video, we've talked audio. Equally important is lighting. If you don't get that right, it's very difficult. So we looked at a lot of options. Here's where we landed with some Amaran P60X bicolored LED soft panel lights. Really nice thing about those is they've got a dashboard where I'm not going to move them up and down because I'm shooting video, but like you should see what you're able to do with these. You're able to change. Well, I can change the temperature. Watch what happens to my face. Ta-da! A little bit lighter, a little bit warmer. You can play with it. You can make the lights go up and down. What's really cool is I've programmed them into my Stream Deck so that I can just turn them literally off, or on. See the difference lighting makes? Now, I've also got some background lighting, and you can see in the ceiling, I've got some pot lights. And those are all hue adjustable lights. So I can literally, on my phone, or actually here, I've hooked them into my Stream Deck. I can just turn the ceiling lights off or turn them on. And then on my phone, I can go into the Hue app and I can change the color. I can make them, more daylight or warmer or softer, or you can make them purple or green or whatever you want. And then I've got some Elgato floor lamps. So you can see that's just a little bit of mood lighting. Those are some key light air lights that we have, and it just kind of creates an ambiance here in the office that you can adjust, and they all kind of work together. And then there's a couple of floor lights too that are just some extra ambient lighting. I'll actually show you what they are because I can turn them off and on. These hue lights, you see how much they light? They're just a couple of plastic lights. And again, you can change them to whatever color, whatever hue you want, but it makes a big difference. So that creates the ambient light in the background. All right, what powers all of this? Well, It's a recent late model iMac M4 10-core 32 gig RAM, 2 terabyte hard drive computer. And we experimented with that. Tried to run it off a MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro was not powerful enough. I had an old iMac, wasn't powerful enough, kept crashing. So this is a bit of a gear set. But if you get a really good brain, the body tends to work out okay. So once I got that iMac M4, everything just synced. The reboot takes 30 seconds. It's humming on all cylinders. When I'm on the road, I use actually a fairly old M1 MacBook Pro. It's fine. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's enough. I'm not trying to do super, editing or anything like that on the road. It works. So that's my desktop setup. That's pretty much everything. And we've also got this cool little thing over here. This is just a charging station. My team made it for me, which is really cool, or had it made. And I keep a separate set of computer glasses on here. By the way, same frames, just sometimes late in the afternoon at 4 o'clock, you can't read anymore. It's like, these are made specifically for the screen. So, exactly the same frame as otherwise. I've got my favorite pen here, a charging station for my phone, my watch, my AirPods, and then Seth Godin limited edition 10,000 deck for his 10,000th blog post. Anything kind of cool on there. So you're not always shooting in the studio. I'm on the road a lot. So what do I shoot on? I shoot on my iPhone. It's fantastic video, audio quality. Sometimes I will bring this. It fits nicely in my travel bag. It's just a pretty simple, not very expensive gimbal. And you can basically shoot on it from any angle. Your iPhone without a case fits beautifully on it. We'll link to that. And then the easiest mics, I've experimented with different mics, Rode mics, other mics. These DJIs are fantastic. This clips right into the base of your iPhone, USB-C. It's sort of a receiver for it. Comes with 2 microphones, so you can put one on you, like this. It's very simple. They're magnetic, so they fit on anything from t-shirts to jackets to whatever. They come with windscreens, etc. And then it's got a little transmitter inside the kit. And the transmitter just literally fits onto the USB port of your iPhone. So you have a transmitter, receiver. They work great. I love it. Pretty much bulletproof. So that is my kit. So that is a behind the scenes look at the gear that we use to produce the podcast and these videos every single week. I have been through so much gear over the years, so many iterations. Back in those drawers, there's a lot of stuff that we tried that just didn't work, and I gave a lot of it away as well. I hope this gives you some clarity. This is the best of the best. It's simple. It works. I use it every day, and I hope this helps you with your own setup. Don't get intimidated. You don't have to buy the whole kit. You might just start with 1 or 2 small things. Maybe you're going to upgrade your lighting or your camera lens, or you're going to get that teleprompter, or you're going to upgrade your mic, whatever it happens to be. And I know there's a lot of details. So what we've done is we've dropped links down in the description for every single piece of gear I shared with you. And if you've got questions, hey, me and my team are here for you. Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what gear you're using too. And if this helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm wishing you all the best as you create content that helps the world get better.